Hello everyone and welcome to MKM Draft. And I think the first pick will be easy one, and it's not the no witnesses. Wrath effects in general are not they can be very powerful, but they can also be totally useless when you are the aggressor. And the no witnesses also is white, and in this format white is usually going to be quite aggressive deck. And this also gives the opponent usually a clue token because you rarely want to rat the board so that you have more creatures out than the opponent does. So this is not even that great card, and there's also a very good card in the pack. The Smuggler's Copter will be going to any deck thanks to being colorless. It's amazing, loots on blocks and attacks. It's just a very good, it's just a very good card. Also in constructed, so also in limited. Well, not every good constructed card is good in limited, but this one is. It's an easy first pick. There's no really question about it. Let's just see what I'm getting past next. Well, there are options. I think I have drafted a few green decks back to back. At least I think my two previous decks on the channel probably were green, so I kind of want to avoid green just to have some different kind of decks. Now this pack has the tunnel tipster and the hard hitting question, which are good green cards. There's also decent black one drop. I guess the Eliminator is good, but maybe not really that early in the draft. But I'm taking the Dog Walker. It is the best color combination by 17 lands statistics at least, to be white and red. And you can play this card, I suppose, in any deck that's either red or white, because usually you want the tokens out of this thing. So I'm gonna take this just to have a little bit different stuff now on the channel. Well, I can continue with a few different options in here. This is the detective one. This is a citizen, right? Yep. This is obviously just a vehicle. Doesn't turn into any kind of a creature type. Alright, so this is... Yeah, I don't know if I want to take that, because there's like a Granite Witness, which is going to be good in the aggressive white and red deck, because you actually want to use the turned face up ability quite often with this thing. I'm taking the Granite Witness, and of course I can be any color combination. I'm not locked into any particular one. Curious Inquiry. I don't like this too much. If you have a lot of flyers, maybe yes, but I don't think it's that good. There is another hard-hitting question, but I'm not taking that because there are two good options for me to pick, either the Consultant or the Night Watch. And I think the Night Watch is slightly better, but when you play this color combination, you want to have a critical mass of 2 drops, so I'm going to take the Consultant. Just because I will have opportunities to pick 4 drops later on as well. Okay, well that's a nice one. There's even the Sanguine Savior, although this is one of the cards you really want to be able to cast without disguising, because 3 mana 2/1 flyer is much better than a 5 mana 2/1 flyer. Meddling Youths is not bad, I wouldn't mind having it, but of course the pick is just gonna be yet another Dog Walker. This is such a premium quality card. This also makes me want to really be white-red, specifically white-red, because it is nice to have the option to cast this on turn 2. If this is your only 2 drop in your hand, you would rather play it on turn 2 than don't play anything. Alright, Inside Source, an amazing white card again, pretty late here. White is definitely open, red not so much. I did get the Frantic Scapegoat here, which I would be happy picking, but there's also the Market Watch Phantom, which is just crazy good. Well, I don't know if it's crazy good, but it's really good 2-drop in the kind of deck like this, which will be able to trigger it a lot. But I wouldn't mind having the Scapegoat. I would definitely take the Scapegoat over the Vigilante in here. Now I get to pick the Meddling Youths because I'm not taking this kind of a 2-drop. A 1 power 2-drop is not really that great. And this does have haste. It is a 4/5 haste. It's no joke. even though it's a 5 mana card that you usually don't want to play many of, but you can play that for sure. And here I wouldn't mind the defenestrated phantom, but the convenient target is actually really good in any kind of an aggressive deck, of course. So easy pick here over the expensive things in here. And I still got the Vigilante, which I will be taking over the Laundry. Although you can play this Laundry as a 3-drop, but I don't really think it's that great in this kind of deck. I mean, I don't want to play a 5 mana 4/5. So I'm gonna take this because this at least pumps my other creatures. And now it's a difficult decision. I wouldn't actually mind having a 4-power flyer. Then again, the Due Diligence can also be quite good. But I think I'll just take the flyer, and I'm definitely not playing all the 5s in here, but I will of course make the decision later on what to cut. Not on my watch. It's good enough even in an aggressive deck. There's gonna be a lot of situations where you are still raising with the opponent, and this is of course great in that situation. But I still do think I prefer the Inside Source in here. Yes, I do. It's also pretty good with the Smuggler's Copter. You know, this thing can crew the Copter while you still get a 2/2 out of this. That's really nice. So let's go and pick that. There's a Galvanize, which now it's time to take a good removal spell over a good 2-drop. I think I would still take the Phantom over the Not on My Watch, but Galvanize is a really high quality because it also deals with blockers, which this doesn't deal with. So let's do that. And okay, I get the land. I'm very excited about the land because mana fixing is great. And I don't even have any 2-drops. I mean, I do have 2-drops, but I don't have many 1-drops. I mean, any 1-drops basically that I can't play on turn 1. So if I have this in my opening hand, it's almost free. It basically would be free to play on turn 1. But the thing is that the Reckless Detective is really good. It attacks as a 2/3, and I don't really care about too much about blocking. I guess it's not good at crewing this thing, but I'll take this because I have a lot of playables in here, and taking this land doesn't actually take a spell slot, but it does improve my deck by giving me a better mana base. Alright, couple of options: Make Your Move and a Suspicious Detonation. I don't think I will. I haven't found any of the 1-drops that create me a clue token. Anything else that creates me a clue token? I don't think. No. I don't. Oh, well, this is the only thing, I guess, which can create me a clue token. So I'm gonna take the better sideboard card. This is really mana efficient when you have a target for it, and you don't have to put this to the main deck because it is a best of 3 draft. So I can only play it when I know it will be good for sure. Okay, this pack has also multiple options, and I'm not that interested in the on-the-job, but although it wouldn't be the worst. I really like the Fuss though, because this has also the mass pump effect, but also the 6 mana option. But there's a Person of Interest, and there's the Orangutan. I like the Orangutan more as like a sideboard card, but it's a decision between the Fuss and Bother, and between that thing and the Person of Interest. And I think I'm gonna take the split. The split card now, but you could have taken the 4-drop as well. So this is the clue land. Do I think it's gonna be relevant to be able to cash in your lands for cards? This can give you colored mana as well, but I don't think it's that great. I'm taking the Technician. I won't have access to blue, but I will be able to, disguise it and then turn it face up. Alright, there's a Red Herring versus Innocent Bystander. I think I like the Hasty guy more in this deck, and I don't like the Sanctuary Wall for this kind of deck at all. It's definitely gonna be about the aggression. Yeah, I'll take the Hasty too. You can always cash it in if it's about to get blocked for free. Another of these things, but I don't think I can play all this expensive stuff, but I might as well pick that one there. Also, this Sedi Informant, I'm not such a big fan of that. I can take the Wrench. Maybe there will be a matchup where I want to play the +1/+1 thing, but I don't think I'm gonna main deck it. Sanitation automaton. How many detectives I have, by the way? I have only 4, but I have a couple of cards that make me a detective. Do I need a 2-drop? I think I still prefer the 2-drop over the detective equipment. Felonious Rage. I guess I can play that. And here I take the uncommon over the common, and I got the orangutan for the sideboard. That is nice. Okay, double gang at 8 is pretty good, but of course it's not for my colors. I would like to have this in some future draft where I can start maybe with this thing and then do some nice ramping up to 8 mana and get 4 different things. I don't know, actually 2 of the 2 one thing and 2 of the other thing. Anyhow, case file auditor. Yeah, this is the case thing. Not interested. The real decision is between the dog walker number 3 and the novice inspector number 1. I think I still might prefer the dog walker. I have the fuss and bother, which is good when I can make multiple creatures, and maybe I will get some another mass pump effect. Wow, another double gang. If I somehow was green in this draft, I could have gotten 2 double gangs in pack 3, because you can of course splash this thing if you are green, maybe even if you are just blue but not green. You can splash for the green. But yeah, there is a case of the Crimson Pulse. Not bad. There's a red herring also, and there is a due diligence. I think I'd still like the case here the most. I will maybe have a very low number of expensive things, because this will draw you 2 extra cards each turn after you have after you have solved it. And solving this shouldn't be too big of a problem if you have a very low mana curve. Alright, on the job, I think at this point I might take it, but let's hope I get another on the job later on, and I take my 4th dog walker. Now I can easily just cast a few of these on turn 2 and the rest of them disguised to create the tokens. And Hustle and Bustle is there. Also, with red in my deck I can cast both halves, and it's not like I'm gonna take the other stuff. There's quite good of these, black and red uncommons. But I'm gonna take maybe the Hustle and Bustle over the automaton number 2. Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. And here we have another shot to take a person of interest. And I think I prefer it over the Museum Night Watch. This gives me 2 creatures immediately. The Thrall is a little bit of a low impact. 1-2, even though it has flash. And this is a symmetric ability. I might have some ETB abilities myself I don't want to hose. And regardless, I'm taking the person of interest over that thing. And Offender at Large, I don't need any more of these expensive things. I'd rather I have enough 5-drops here to decide. This would be cut over some of the other options. I think I'll just take the orangutan here if I actually want to sideboard 2 of those in. And I'm happy to take another consultant here. I don't need a granite witness. I don't think. Another one, I have one already. I'm taking the consultant here. It's pretty good with so many dog walkers. It's gonna be easy to get the +1, +2, +0 there. It's better than the bystander here. And okay, I got a frantic scapegoat. I'm happy about that one too. This seems a pretty good deck actually. So I have one of these crime novelist. I'm not going to be sacking many artifacts. Sanctuary Wall. Enters the battlefield to solve case. You can reveal an enchantment card. I'm just taking the Sanctuary Wall because I don't think I have that many enchantments. I guess I have a 3rd now because I'm gonna take the due diligence now. Expose the culprit seems so clumsy and situational that I'm not gonna believe that that card is going to ever be that good one. Alright, I'm not taking a 2nd copy of this, so I'll just take the juggler without even having any intention of splashing it. It is an uncommon after all, so I get more vault progress from that. Okay, I still got the 2nd copy of that automaton. So, what to do? I think I'm cutting the Hasta Vigilante and maybe the Defenestrated Phantom. I like the Lamassu and the meddling dudes as my 5-drops in here. So let's cut that thing. This has these guys, of course, but let's see. Well, let's first see. I have 19 creatures, so of course I do need to make some more cuts, and some of them will be creatures, and of course one of them is the sanctuary wall, which I forgot to put to the sideboard. This will not be a 4-drop ever, so it's always going to be a disguise, and the same applies for the technician. And then due diligence, might be interested in trying it. Convenient target, felonious rage. Now, I don't think this is a bad one in this side of a deck. I don't mind having another 2/2, and I can, kind of trade up. My 2/2 gets blocked by their 4/4, and I get to kill their 4/4, and I still basically, the 2/2 remains in a way because I get a new one. All that for 1 mana. I like that. So I could see playing that. But what are the cuts? I think the first cut is one of the automatons in here. What's the creature curve? So that's now, considering these have the opportunity to be cast as a 2-drop. This is now 5, 6, that's 8 2-drops. I do hope to get some of these to be played as a 3-drop. Fuss, bother, hustle and bustle. Now target creature attacks or blocks this turn if able. I think I could actually cut this because I don't like the 1 mana option here that much. Not in this kind of deck. I have so small creatures that I rarely benefit from forcing the opponent to attack or block. I know I can, use this as a way to remove a blocker by using this on their turn, forcing them to attack without even intention of blocking the creature that attacks, so that it can't block my things. But that's just wasting a card. And the Bustle is of course amazing, but it's also a 6 mana card. I think this deck can try to win faster than that, and I can sideboard this in when I know that there will be like a ground stall or something, and this is of course a very good way to break such a stall. Whereas the Fuss and Bother, it has also a very relevant 6 mana option, but I do like the 3 mana, the cheaper option, a lot more. Definitely, so I'm gonna play that. Now it is a question of should I play more than... I mean, is it going to be enough to play 16 lands in here? Or am I going to cut something like the automaton number 2? I want to try the due diligence. It is of course a risky card against decks that have a bunch of removal, but this can also, net you a ton of damage when the opponent is caught off guard. They are basically tapped out. You can just get a huge attack in that the opponent didn't really anticipate. So I like to see that in this kind of deck, because this deck just wants to deal damage fast, and this is one way that is gonna increase your clock. I mean, make your clock faster rather. So I can cast, even this has a 3 mana option. Let's put it here. So I can cast all but 3 of my cards at 3 mana or less, and even then a lot of my cards can be cast at 2 mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. That's 14 cards that only cost 2 or 1. But I usually don't like playing 2 5-drops in decks that play 16 lands. Now I could see maybe cutting the Absolving Lamassu. I like the Haster more than the Flyer. Maybe I can use this as a sideboard card if I somehow feel that I need a 4-power Flyer, and that a 3 toughness creature usually can survive. So I will cut actually the Lamassu, but I can still now choose to maybe put a 24th card in the deck. What would it be? Hustle Bustle? I don't think I will main deck that thing. There is the option to have this as a 5 mana flyer if I disguise it first, of course. And I could play something like even the wrench in the main deck. I don't know if that's a good idea, or I can play the automaton, or I can just play 17 lands as well. I do have the looter in here, and I do have the case of the Crimson Pulse, which both, can help me get rid of extra lands. But there are also ways to dig into my lands if I just need to find my 4th or 5th land. Yeah, this is actually not an easy decision, because I could have this, even this, and this. I guess, okay, the automaton, one of them isn't here, but I'm considering cutting. I think I cut. Well, no, let's see. I have 26 now. Anyway, there's also the Bustle, which I could still play here. It is a 6 mana card. I think I would play the 4 mana mass pump effect. I mean, it definitely would be a good idea, thanks to having all these dog walkers and having a pretty high creature count. I think it's gonna be the wrench that's gonna be cut first, and now the defenestrated phantom. I guess the flyer doesn't hurt. It is a 4 power flyer as well, and this also does something when you don't have access to 5 mana. This thing always requires the 5th land. So I guess I'm gonna play this. And now I'm going to cut one of the automatons, and is that gonna be enough? I do need access to double red and double white also, thanks to these guys. I think I'm going to choose. I can cut one more creature. I'm gonna cut this automaton and play 17 lands. So this way I can play. I have exactly an even number of white and red. And I have this kind of a, because I have the dual land, I can just do this and add, an even split of, okay, forget about the islands, not gonna play any of them. Although I guess you could play one island in the deck to have option to cast this, hard cast these, but I'm not gonna mess up my mana at all with the islands. I can just disguise these and then turn them face up. Both have a very beneficial ability when you turn them face up. These won't work as an... Well, I suppose, no, this thing works as an ETB as well. But still, I don't need the island to make my mana worse. So this is now basically thanks to the Elegant Pallor. That is 9 and 9 lands. I should have a very consistent mana base in this deck, and I can afford to play this double. This isn't even double white when you turn it. But yeah, this double red and this double white shouldn't be too problematic, and I have the rest of the cards only require one kind of a color. Alright, so this is the main deck. I will go with the 17 lands. And I hope I'm not gonna get flooded out, but I don't think I am. I have the case here helping, I have this copter helping, and even this thing can get me a clue token. So this is it. This is the main deck. And here we go. Great hand with the copter into this consultant. And yeah, move on from there. Swamp. Well, now I don't have to play a consultant. I'm gonna just go with the witness here. So this suspects up to one other creature. Yeah, this can't suspect itself. I don't have the double red for the technician yet, which means I'm going to just play this thing. And of course I'm attacking here as well. Loot, and well, I can definitely discard the planes in here. Whenever one or more suspected creatures you control attack, survival 1. But yeah, this cannot suspect itself. So, alright. Dog Walker, not a Okay, so let's see how do I want to do it here. I guess I can just turn this thing. I mean, I can just play the consultant attack with these things and then save, prevent the 3 damage from them. Is that something I wanna do? But I could also play the Dog Walker. Yeah, I think I'm going to play the Dog Walker here. It does seem to make most sense. As a, you know, just a 3-2 without doing the disguise. And now let's see what I'm going to draw. There's the herring. I don't need the herring. That will be discarded here. And now I can just play the consultant, and I have a pretty good board here. If they attack with both, they will deal 6 to me, but they also will be having a lot of damage coming their way. Okay, Death Touch and Lifelink and Investigate. Sure, they gain 3 life, but I go to 11. I don't think they can beat me on the next turn. Okay, well that's a good one. That is definitely a good one, and I'm going to just do this, and I will crew the copter with my face down card. Unless they have a 2-mana removal spell, I guess I can actually play around one. Because I want to attack with 3. And so let's say if I now crew the copter with this and... Oh, what? I would still have... Okay, I made a mistake. I could have done that. I could have done that. Oh well. I thought I wouldn't have 3 attackers for this trigger, but of course I would have. Even if they removed one of my guys. But I guess this way I have a blocker here. Okay, they have that. Well, I won't have a blocker. So are they gonna beat me somehow on the next turn? You know, deal +5. I don't think with swamps, but if they get like some other color, okay, no. There was a patch earlier today, so I will see if this is fixed. Oh yeah, they fixed at least this bug, so now we can go and check out the battlefield in a best of 3 match between the games, which is very nice. So now the opponent will get to check my Granite Witness. They didn't have any face down creatures, but it was about time this got fixed. Of course, I'm recording these videos quite long before they get published, so this patch was actually fixed a lot before the previous video I published, which did feature the black screen bug still. Anyway, long goodbye, 3 power 3 drops. I don't know what their second color is, or if they are just mono black. I didn't see anything that is, you know, I mean, nothing that makes make your move a good card. No artifacts, I don't think. And I think I like the main deck construction. Maybe the due diligence is a little risky against the black deck. Could be a murders and stuff like that in there. I will be on the draw. What is the better card? If I cut the due diligence, what would be a good addition? You could always play the automaton, of course. Okay, maybe against that deck I won't be playing the aura. They might have a bunch of removal, but I need to make now some addition. Well, let's just go with the automaton. It's not a bad one, and I definitely always want to hit a 2-drop with this deck. Two-drop acquired. Alright, well, that I will have plays for countless of turns going forward. I will start with the red herring maybe. It still does the most damage. I know it's a little risky if they have like a 2-3 or 3-3 coming up. But they also, I mean the 1-3-3 I saw in the game 1 of course enters tapped, so I have another attack with this. And the other one is a 3-2. Okay, I can happily attack into that guy. And am I going to do the inside source now, or am I gonna disguise this guy so that I can next turn? Yeah, I'm going to disguise a dog walker right now, because next turn I might need to crack this thing, and if I don't, I can still, you know, use the face up turning with this and play the consultant, because I am guaranteed to have the mana for that. So I'm going to do this now. More 1/1s on the battlefield. Okay, now this could be number of things, of course. Well, I don't think I have any reason to do anything right now. When they don't have access to 5 mana, this can't be anything too amazing. Now, one thing it can be is it can be a 1/4. And that's what makes me... Because there's the blue-black, you know, 1/4. Now, I will lose my dog token, my tokens if I choose to now not turn this face up. But I'm really scared that it will be the 1/4. But I have to do the choice first. I don't know how valuable the 2/1/1s will be now. I'm going to actually let this go. It's too risky if they have it. And it's still possible they will turn this face up regardless. And then I will get my... Okay, it was a Museum Nightwatch, so now I can, of course, do this to get my... dog creature tokens. So we both... They get a 2/2, I get 2/1/1s. That's fair. And then I can have this guy up. So they are white-black. I didn't see any planes or white cards in the first game. Oh, this is an annoying one. This is quite annoying one. Well, I'm gonna crack my... Yeah, let's just attack with this one guy. And I think I'll just play the inside source for now. At least these guys don't have vigilance, so... Okay, Wayne Reaper. Alright, well, I would need my sideboard card now, of course. Yeah, Wayne Reaper is of course insane. The fact that life drain happens there is a really difficult thing to deal with. I can't attack into that board. And what I can do is just... I guess I'll just do the dog walkers. Maybe I get my 1 mass pump effect, but the fact is that it's not gonna be enough. I would need the +2/+2 and trample on all my guys. Which of course is in my sideboard right now. Yeah, the fact they had 2/4 and then the 6/5. I wasn't able to deal enough damage. So I can't really... I can build a very wide board, but this thing gains them a bunch of life and also clocks me very fast if they attack with it. Okay, Granite Witness can actually help me quite a bit now. So let's do like this here. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Maybe if I get the fuss, or what's the +1/+1 counter on each of my attacking creatures. But if they attack with the Wayne Reaper, which I don't think they're gonna make happen. Right, they can kill one of my guys. Well, that's that. I don't care about that. They will get the plus, you know, to 2 drain here, of course, which is really annoying, but nothing I can do about it. But now I can, you know, flip both of my dog walkers, and then I can make these to tap one of their blockers. I just don't think the damage is enough. Maybe if they do attack with the Vein Ripper now, and if they have no other card in their hand, that's a lot of ifs. And this has an activated ability: Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. Yeah, they have that up, but it only applies for these 2 guys. And they are not attacking. Okay, they are attacking with both of those. Now this is my chance. This is my chance, unless they have like a mass removal to trigger this 1,000,000 times. But this is actually gonna make it possible for me to win now. Depends on this last card they're having. So this is the dog. Yep. And this is another walker. So I'm gonna tap this thing because they can give that guy a lifelink, but they can't give the 3 power guy a lifelink. So this is my chance. I have to go right now. I don't know if it's even gonna be enough. They block a 3 power guy and take 12. I don't think it's enough. I needed the haster here actually. These don't do much in here. Now once creatures die, I take so much. Well, I have to go for it. So let's go for it. I don't really need to. And here. Tap that, and now I will attack with everything. And I know I could have used these to +2/+0, but they still have a life linker here. Oh man. Oh boy, they had the life gain there too. But I don't think the 3 damage, the 3 life matters in here. Oh, they could just... Alright, let's see how it goes. They are now at 6 and 9 with the life link, but they of course got, and this trigger will happen multiple times. So I don't know, it doesn't even matter how if I would have won or lost, but I mean, if they didn't have the 2 additional lives, if they didn't draw into a removal spell. But now I know I need to use a make your move, I think. The only target is the... Yeah, sadly there's no other target. I didn't even see a pump spell. The only target is the Vein Ripper. I can pay the ward cost with this deck. I will have dogs to sack and stuff like that. That is not a problem. But there's no artifact that I saw. There's no enchantment other than this, which is barely gonna be relevant after it has hit the board. I think I might just actually go for with the hustle and bustle instead. Or maybe I should now go with the due diligence. Is that what I need to do? I saw there... this also the lifelink and death that is annoying. Mana value 3 or less. Okay, it's difficult now. I am interested in the hustle bustle. So let's take that actually. And what did I sideboard in? I sideboarded in a automaton. I'll cut that now. So this is another way to push through some kind of a board style. There's due diligence here still, but now this is the deck. I'm gonna use this. Play first. Nice hand here. That's what I need here. I definitely need to have a strong start here because they have the late game advantage with the stuff I saw. I don't like the number of life gain effects they have. I'm not making this guy have... This will fly often enough that I don't need to make it, you know, suspected. I am happy I drew the land because now I can go with the walker, and I also have the fuss and bother here. So... Well, I don't think there's a flash creature that can really trade well with him. So I'm not gonna do the pre... I don't need to make the phantom to fly. They might have the kill spell on it. Alright. Do I want to put counters on these guys just to save this? I don't think it's a good idea now that I have the dog walker in here. I do hope they can't kill the dog walker before I you know, turn it face up, because you know they have the uncounterable 2-mana spell that would be able to kill it. Okay, good. Good, very good. I can even play this now. So I'm gonna do it, of course, immediately. Do I want to turn this? Well, I don't mind. I mean, this thing, the dog walker has vigilance, but I don't care. I want to them, you know. Actually, I want them to block here. Well, they did not, so I'm still gonna deal the 3 here. And now with the fuss. Yeah, this looks good now. And the Vein Reaper isn't coming yet. I hope they don't have a mass removal effect, because that would be backbreaking, of course. So this only puts on my attacking creatures a counter, but of course that's the only thing I'm interested in with this deck. Okay, well, this can be the 3/2 that dies into a 2/2 token, but of course I'm just gonna go with this, and I'm sacrificing one of my... I mean, I don't care which of my guys they're gonna block, they're gonna take a lot of damage. And then on the next turn I'm looking to win with the fuss. That's that. Okay, life in there, so they can trade with that guy instead and gain, you know, 3. Yeah, that's still gonna have an easy win for me unless they do have the white rat effect with the land now. Please don't have it. Okay, that vampire isn't gonna help them. Okay. I might as well do this. But I'm gonna use the fuzz, not the bother, of course. I don't have mana for both of these, so here we go, and this is lethal regardless. Actually, I don't... Yeah, it is exactly lethal, because what they can do, the best block they have, is to block the 3 power guys and take still 4. I didn't need this. Could have just played these 2, but yeah, lethal is lethal no matter how you choose to take it. On the play, and this is a good hand. I can even make the red herring into a 3/3 with a convenient target. That's not so easy to block. And this can always be returned from the graveyard. The opponent did mulligan there. Yeah, they kept 6. I don't have double red, so galvanize. Well, galvanize. I mean, I could use galvanize and a convenient target, but since I can't, I think here is just better to play the inside source. They can bounce off each other. Maybe if they really want to save the Strider, they wouldn't be blocking, but that would be a weird decision. Because this is forced to attack, so it's not really meaning that I even have a pump effect I'm willing to use. Of course I had, but I wanted to just play my stuff in here. And if this is not like a multiple color deck, they might not even need this mana fixing now. The rage won't produce me the 2/2 if my creature doesn't die. Well, I guess the best thing to do here right now is to just pump the 2/2 and give this guy the convenient target. I mean, that does seem like the best idea. That means I will not play my... And they can still double block the herring, but I don't think it matters. And I don't get my double red for the next turn. Covered falcon, okay. This thing can find an enchantment. Top 6, they did not find one. Alright. So now, this is not a detective, of course. It's a clue fish. But they still don't have a good block because it has menace. Now... Yes, this is a very easy turn, then I'm gonna just attack with this guy, of course. They will either take 3 or they have a... I mean, it has menace because it's suspected, so that doesn't work. Alright, so now I can surveil into the phantom. So far they don't have a flyer. My next turn, actually that phantom is just a nice one to draw, because my next turn has me, you know, I can play the phantom and still, you know, disguise, oh, you know, turn this thing face up, or something like that. Okay, now they have more things to do here. So let's see, this is a 3/2. How do I want to play this? I will not have access to any of my red spells if I choose to turn this guy face up. So I don't think this guy is gonna attack right now. Yes, that's correct. So before I do anything, I'll just attack with the must attack guy and see how they block. And then decide if I want to use a galvanize or the rage or what's the better. That is total of 6 toughness, sadly. Okay, now that's different. So now I could just trade with these two, get the convenient target back, and then, you know, yeah, I could also like kill this guy, but then I can only kill the inside source. I don't think that's worth it. I'm gonna do it like this. Save my things for now. And I'm going to, of course, play the phantom, and then I can decide whether I want to return the convenient target or use my double red. Depends on if the Thopter is going to be a good attacker. I will see it later on. Although that Thopter is also going to allow me to trigger the phantom, so I might actually want to do this on my turn regardless. But let's see what they do. So when this enters, and whenever you solve a case, alright. No witnesses. Well, I mean, I'm gonna investigate already, so there's no reason for me to flip this one up. But what I can do is I can play the Felonious Rage. When that creature dies this turn, create a 2/2 token. So all of these will die. I get a clue, and then and I will get a 2/2. That makes sense. Let us do that exact thing. And then I can draw a card in here. Okay, double land is actually very bad, but yeah, that is really bad. Something to keep in mind, they actually did have this Gravestone Strider ability here. I didn't even... I mean, they might have had an extra land there. Esrim, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? And I drew another land. This could deal 5 if I would draw another card, but of course I don't really draw extra cards. So they Wrath into Esrim. Is this like fair at all? Because that thing can get lifelink. And I didn't draw a creature. I mean, I drew 3... After the Wrath, I drew 3 lands back to back. That's insane. They go to 11 now. By sacking those, you can pause and read what it does. It is insane. They go to 11 now. I guess if they don't have more clues coming up, I have a chance. And if I draw non-lands, I need to draw non-lands. There's a Private Eye, which actually would pump this guy. Oh, I'm gonna kill it. Okay, Granite Witness will be doing something at least. I'm just not sure how do I want to use it. Because this is not going to be a lethal attack yet. I might actually take the... Because they are not going to use the lifelink until they are already attacked. But I guess it still makes sense. Vigilance, lifelink or hexproof. By sacking the clue. Well, actually that's any artifact, but that's the only artifact they have right now. So... I suppose I'm gonna turn this face up now and try to tap it. They can give it hexproof, of course. But then they will not get the lifelink from that thing on a later turn. And I still have the menace on this suspected creature, so... Okay, they wanted to save the clue. Oh man, I still drew just a land. This is... If they just have... Okay, they don't have a interaction either. So this is gonna get close. But I drew way too many lands after the Wrath. I mean, imagine if I got like 1 Dog Walker. 1 Dog Walker would have been good. So they're gonna go and gain 5 here. I go to... At least I can take 1 more hit from this guy without dying. But they're gonna go to 7, so this is not a lethal attack unless I get help from the top of my deck. They have 4 mana left over. Maybe they're holding lands too. Well, I definitely just draw lands in here. Let's see if they got an interactive spell here now. They did not. Alright, so I guess I'm winning unless they have a way to deal extra 5. I'm definitely not gonna block with the Witness. Okay, sack an artifact to deal 3 to any target. Well, that's not gonna work. Alright, well they can't attack now. So this could be something dangerous. Now if I attack with everything, it's not going to work. Because they can block the 3-2 and they can eat it with the Airstream. And then they can double block this guy. And I get to trade just with the face down card. It's not worth it. So let's just not attack at all. And get 2 other creatures. And hope that whatever this is not gonna give them a clue. I mean, any kind of an artifact. Because this will get a lifelink again. Them being at 1 is really nasty. They got 10 life out of this thing. Okay, the dog walker helps me a little bit because of course I can do an attack now. If these guys don't produce more creatures, I would win here. This isn't detective actually, so I could in fact attack into... This could be a flyer though. I mean, it doesn't matter. I will trade with something. The only problem is that if they get an artifact from out of these two, they could have a gadget thing or whatever. But I think it's still going to... Okay, this is Detective 2. Wait a minute. Who I want to sacrifice here? I don't want to do this right now. I know I don't have to attack with them anything, but I guess I want them to react somehow. So let's do this. I can still play this, you know, disguised and I don't actually want the convenient target to go to my graveyard because I would need to respond to this ability. So let's now try this. Yeah, if they don't get any life from these face down creatures, and they can get life by getting an artifact token from them, and then they can sack an artifact with the Ezreal. Okay, they had a Granite Witness there. Okay, they had to... Okay, that's fine. Granite Witness isn't actually a problem. Now, do I want to trade that Granite Witnesses here? Because the thing is, this is an artifact creature, and they can get life from it. Okay, this has vigilance after all, so let's do this. I don't mind trading with an artifact here. And then I can do this. I will have mana if they have a counter spell. I don't have to show them the final card from my hand, and if this somehow dies, I still have the convenient target that I can bring back. Okay, when this... Okay, draw and discard. Okay, well that doesn't actually... They have an empty hand. This is not in their graveyard, so that doesn't do anything. And now... There's still this one unknown thing. All I need is that... It's nothing too crazy, because of course I have a lot of attackers here right now. So as long as they don't gain life, I win here on this turn. I guess I have to try just attack with everything. If that thing is a gadget technician, I think it's not a Granite Witness because they did not tap anything. Although, maybe it's still a better idea to... But yeah, if it's a gadget technician, that's the worst, because they can block with the 1/1, give this lifelink and eat something I have here. Go to 6, and my attack won't be lethal, and their attack will be. But how am I winning this top deck war? I'm not winning this top deck war. I think this is my chance, and I will go here and see what happens. If this is gonna allow this thing to sack yet another artifact, I think I was losing anyway. It was just a bubble smuggler. All right. Okay, that was a tough one. So there's an Ezreal, and that's now multiple. Well, that is at least 2 targets for the kill spell I have. Besides, it also kills artifacts, which means that it kills the Granite Witness, the Coveted Falcon, if I really want to, that Strider. And yeah, I guess they did draw a bunch of lands too, but it was a little stressing to hit the pocket of lands after getting Rat. That's pretty classic stuff. Now, the orangutan can deal with some of the artifacts I saw there. There's not that many, like 2 things that are really relevant to this, which is nice to kill for free, but then I get just a 3 mana 2/2. But I'm definitely playing the make your move here. This isn't even a great answer if they can, cast this with 6 mana up, but for example in this game they had to cast this when they had only 5 mana, so if I had a removal spell, I could have killed it, because they need 1 mana to give the hexproof. Hustle and bustle. wrench. I guess the tapping is actually useful against the... But I also have to think about the wrath effect. I don't want to die to a random wrath. I mean, I don't want to lose all my creatures to the wrath. I need to be very careful. I think the case of the Crimson Pulse will be quite useful here. Should I play another 5-drop here? Just to slow it down a little bit. Maybe like the Scapegoat. I think the Scapegoat is something I can cut because it's a pretty low effect card. It only deals 1 per turn. I don't want to overextend to a Wrath. The Due Diligence is not good, and I think I will replace that with maybe just a Wrench. Not sure how good of an idea that is. Maybe the Bustle. I need to make a decision right now. I'm gonna use the Wrench. I don't know how clever that is, but I'm gonna try it regardless. They go first. I have this hand. Well, this will surveil me. I have the Haster and I have this guy. I don't like it, but if I mulligan this into like a, like a mountain, all white spells hand, it's miserable. At least I get the surveil from this, so I'm going to keep this now. Okay, that's a good one. And here I can get rid of the... I will need one double red for one of my cards, but I don't have that even in my hand, so I'm not going to play any... I can draw any extra lands into this hand. Okay, they have a case of the Pilfered Proof, so detectives that enter their control get a +1/+1 counter, or that get turned face up. That is actually great. If most of the creatures are detectives, I might have to just crack this thing right away. Another color. I don't think I saw a mountain in game 1. Well, they have a 4/4 now. Yeah, well, it's just... They're gonna always block it, but I suppose I can always attack with it. And okay, they actually did it. Wow, that was great. I mean, I guess I can have many pump spells, but I think they should have blocked there. And here I will just... this is good because now I can be more mana efficient. I can do this on sacking on the next turn and play either the Consultant or maybe this. Yeah, this is actually quite insane that they have this in the Private Eye. That is a very, very strong setup there. Can I mean, I'm actually losing the race here. Yeah, I could tap the Inspector, but that doesn't even matter right now. Because they can still block the Herring with the Strider. That is the problem. So I guess it's time to just crack this thing and see what I get in here, and guess I'm doing this, but I'm gonna of course lose to this start. This is such a... I mean, I guess this wasn't a detective, but the fact they had specifically the Private Eye means that the remaining detectives they play get +2/+2. One from the counter in here, and of course one, static pump effect from here. To solve it, you control 3 or more detectives, and if solved, if one or more any tokens would be created, they get an extra clue token as a bonus. Right. Felonious Rage. Okay. Well, I need to try here something. So I might want to have mana up for the Rage and the Granite Witness too. Yes, so I'm gonna play the Consultant. Attack for 2. I need to, attack here. I could attack with this as a Vigilant Flyer, but I think it's more important for me to, tap something down from them. Hmm. Well, there is a problem actually. This is only +2/+0, so I cannot actually even benefit from that at all right now. I mean, unless I'm willing to waste my 3 power flyer, but I don't think I want to do that. Maybe I have to. Maybe I have to. I'm going to, you know, tap this guy and I'd just try to get the private eye killed. It would be important to make them lose the... Okay, they don't attack at all, which is... Okay. I'm not gonna beat a Estrim with mana up now. With all they had, I had no way to do anything. It's not an artifact creature. I'm thinking about the orangutan here. It does take care of some of their stuff, but maybe not quite enough. At least the make your move can also deal with the case of the pilfered proof. But the Estrim is just a sick bomb. They had the white blue despite having this mountain, but I suppose they had the Strider for mana fixing as well. So I have to both play around the big rare flyer and also play around the rat effect in their deck. That is a really difficult situation to be in. Can I be using 3 mana to tap target creature? The thing is I have some extra creatures from, for example, the Dog Walker that I can use for the tapping purposes solely. And I like the wrench because that I cannot lose to the rat effect at least. And I can always cast this in for a card if I need to top deck something. Yeah, this is tough. I'm almost tempted to do this on the play, but I need to respect the rat possibility. I won't be. I need to be a little bit slower. Maybe I can win the flyer somehow. I don't think the bustle is still going to be the thing, because if I build a white board, I'm very vulnerable to a rat, so I can't really go for that either. And this Lamasu is a good flyer, but they have the Granite Witness, which will trade with the Lamasu. I'm just gonna use the same deck and hope I get some amazing start here. Well, I guess it was time to mulligan at some point. So let's mulligan, and this is a decent hand. They are also mulliganed, and what is my... The Consultant is good with the Dog Walker, but I'm not going to cut the Galvanize or the Inside Source. So I guess the Consultant is... I'd rather play the 3 power 2-drop than the 1 power 2-drop being on the play here. And they go to 5. Okay. So let's be very careful now. Because I'm advantaged right now. They have 1 fewer card. They get to draw a card before me, but of course I have the tempo from being on the play. I really want to have another 2-drop here, but of course if I don't, I'm going to play this. I have a 3-drop in the Inside Source regardless. Okay, they get a clue from this thing. And then they can play this and tap the clue. Okay, no more lands please. No more lands. I don't want any lands. That's really annoying. But they can just trade here, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, there's not much I can do about it. They can double block. I mean, block both of these, and I get my Dog Walker at least. Dog Walker. And to solve, you control 3 or more artifacts, then they can make one of their artifacts into a very large one. Should I just kill this before it's... It's gonna cost 4 mana. I might... It can be the Granite Witness, it can be a 3-2 that dies into it. Okay, fine, I'm gonna use this. Let's see what it was. It was a Coveted Falcon. Okay, that actually would have been an annoying one, so I'm happy I got rid of it. But now I'm really hoping they don't have the 5 mana flyer. Okay, that's not it. They are splashing for a person of interest. That's interesting. Well, I guess they're gonna block this guy, and then I'm going to get my 2 1/1s here. This can't block because it is suspected. None of these things are detectives, of course. So I can't use this ability quite yet. But this is now 4 creatures which they currently cannot block. But of course, if they have any blocker, it's probably gonna be able to block. That is not a detective, it's a rogue. Okay, well, I again drew a land. I just don't like it. Oh. Yeah, that is 7 lands and 5 spells. That is not what I want to do with my 17 land deck. I need them to not have the rare flyer. Another Dogwalker. So am I gonna attack here? Yes, I am. I lose 1 creature, they take 4 damage. It's worth it. Especially because I drew another of these Dogwalkers in here. Yeah, I could actually now win if they don't have the rare flyer or the Rat effect. Yep. That is gonna be very close. I have even the wrench in here. So I'm actually going to be able to... If they have nothing, I'm going to just... Oh, this has vigilance. Well, I mean, I guess that's the best thing. 3 to tap, yeah. And that's it. Okay. Phew. Well, they didn't draw that well either. So the fact I was flooded out was compensated by the fact that they mulliganed to, of course, 5, and then they were able to hold the defenses for a while, but they also had some, blank draws. But I drew 50% lands here, which could have been catastrophic if they also didn't have such a bad draw. Okay, this is a fine hand. I don't know yet if I'm playing this on turn 1 because I have my only 1 drop here, which I could play instead. But of course, if I draw a land, that will be an easy scapegoat. They mulligan. I'm on the draw here, yep. They kept 6 there. Okay, that's a nice little rare. That's a land which allows me to... Well, I guess I wasn't never going to play the Dogwalker on turn 2. Yeah, regardless, I'm gonna play the scapegoat to start the hits here, and I guess I could play the Dogwalker on turn 2 with the convenient target, but it's also quite tempting to play it with the dogs. But now, well, let's just see what happens. I don't have to make any other decision. I think it was better to play the scapegoat because I can make a few points of damage with it. And I could target it, but it seems like a little... Wait a minute, when one or more... If this is suspected, you may suspect one of the other. if you do this one is no longer suspected, how does it work with multiple? Because if I suspect a suspected creature, is it gonna be suspected twice? I don't think. I don't know how the rules go. I'm not gonna bother with it. So I'll just attack for one now and do this and yeah, sure, let's have it. I do want to have the 4th mana for this thing, but I guess I can play all the stuff I have here available right now. That only taps for colorless now. So let's that thing has reach, so it's actually not very beneficial to do the technician right now. So I'm going to start with this guy right now, and I'm still not gonna. I'm gonna decline the suspected status. I wanna keep this suspected, and I can always make this suspected with a convenient target if I so choose. Yeah, I'm taking this. I want to get my dog tokens. I can make a quite wide board in here and deal some decent amount of damage with it. So now I no longer have an attack with this. I am happy about this land though. So what I'm doing here is I'm attacking, I'm offering the trade, and I can, you know, flip this and still play the consultant if they block. If they don't block, I'll just play the person of interest. Now they play red-green. These could be some huge creatures, so I do need to, of course, build my white. Decline this because that thing is gonna be suspected regardless. Do I wanna suspect this guy? Another color here. I guess I could. I'm gonna suspect it. I can't block with anything but the 1/1, but I wasn't gonna block anyway, especially if they have a 5th land. They get a 5th land this way by cycling. I guess they didn't have one in their hand. Maybe they just wanted to have double green. I feel like I was talking about something, but then I was thinking about the suspecting, so I don't know what I was talking about anymore. Now that they have only 3 mana up, well, I can't. I mean, yeah, I don't have a 2/2 blocker here, so because we have 3 mana, it's safe to block a disguise creature with your own 2/2. Okay, so I think it is time to actually what? I have 4 mana myself. I can just play 2/2s in here myself, or I can do this thing. But maybe it's not so necessary. I can maybe still attack with it. If I flip this pre-combat, the vigilance will apply, but then they will just block with the inspector. I guess they might still block with the inspector, but then again, it doesn't matter if this is tapped. Well, these are going to attack always. They can't block. Okay, I'm gonna leave a blocker myself. I'm gonna play the consultant because that will be a bigger attacker. And then I will not play the phantom, I will have the face, I will make this go face up. The dogs that enter will be tapped, so I can't block with those dogs. But I'm facing 7 damage here, so I do want to make some blocks because I'm not having a win on the next turn, so I have to be a little bit conservative here with my plans. It is kind of odd that they played their creatures as 3 mana 2/2s. I played as 2 mana 2/2s for the most part. Okay, they are gonna bite down on crime. There's nothing I can do about that. Now they have only 3 mana left, so I can now... Okay. Well, I'm going to block this guy that is gonna deal the most damage. And get a couple of dogs in here. Okay, now that I'm at 9, I'm not too concerned. They still have a card left. Yet another face down card. Okay then. They had another blocker. I think an attack with everything would have been quite sweet if they didn't have another blocker there. Because I would sacrifice 1/1/1 here to make them go to 5. Now I would lose 2 1/1s and they go to 6. As opposed to, you know, them going to 7 or actually trading with this guy. Now, what I'm supposed to do here though, that's a different story. Don't know if I'm supposed to use the convenient target right now. I'm not going to attack with the 1/1s. I know I could make one another 2/2 with suspected, but I also one of these can be a pretty big guy, so I need to be making a bunch of blocks. So I'm gonna make this happen, and I'm gonna play the Dog Walker as a face-up creature here. Because I still have plenty of things to do. They will have also difficulties attacking with everything. I am clocking them with my 2 menace guys that have 2 power. And I have now enough blockers that... Because if one of these is a big thing, they can only... Okay, well that was a branch of Vidugasa. That's no longer a creature at all. But they got black mana, so do they have a 4th color in the deck? Basilica Stalker, well, that's a good one. I didn't expect that to happen, but it's a 2-turn clock now. Unless this is a Basilica Stalker too. I really hope to get a land because I wanted to do this, you know, and then get the untap and the flying blocker. Of course, that wasn't happening now. Is this a winning attack though? If I make this, you know, a 4-power menace guy, then they basically can't win. I mean, this is enough damage, because if they double block this, that is going to be 2, 4, 6, 9, okay? And then if they block 2, 2 and 1, 1, yeah, this is a victory now. This is a victory now. And I don't need to do this. I can make this fly, but they can still block with the 1/3, so it is irrelevant. Let's not give them any information. And I want to now see what's this thing. They had a Rift Burst Hellion there, by the way. Okay, go white worked, even without the mass pump effect. Actually, I'm missing in this deck now one of the +2, +1s, but one reason I didn't pick them early in the draft, because I have seen those cards go pretty late, and white was quite open in this draft too, at least in the first pack maybe. So I was kind of expecting to see like pick 10 of those +2, +1 on everything. And I don't think I had 4 Dog Walkers at the point when it was the last time I saw one of the mass pump effects. But yeah, I would definitely play the 4 mana version of the mass pump, but the 6 mana version is a little bit more difficult. Now let's see what this was. Undercover Crocodile. So they have several of these you know, very expensive to turn face up disguise creatures. This is 5 mana, this is 5 mana, this is 6 mana. So I am going to keep that in mind. They also have a couple of branches with the gases, which won't be even be creatures once they are turned face up. Okay, so do I feel like I need another flyer? Is there something that's bad? I think I like in this matchup the due diligence. They have some removal, like I saw the bite down on crime, but maybe they don't have that much. Is the scapegoat going to be good? They have the 1/3. I really don't like the scapegoat against that, so I'm going to cut that and maybe put the wrench in. I like the wrench in this matchup a little bit, so let's do that. And the orangutan red-green is not really gonna have a lot of artifacts. The puzzle is... the problem is I don't want to go to 6 mana. Especially if I have the looter up, I will be discarding extra lands. So let's do this. Oh no, sorry. Make your move. What is the cut? I need to make a cut in 15 seconds. What was the first card in here? I'm definitely playing make your move. Okay, I'll cut the wrench here after all. I think I like the wrench too, but I will decide if I want to put that in for the game 3. I will decide in the next sideboarding. Or maybe I just win right now. Okay, I have a Smuggler's Copter. I'm on the draw, of course, but this is a fantastic hand. Both colors and 2 mana is absolutely enough because I have 4 castables and the looter here, and this is gonna be good against red-green. The one reach guy I saw is not going to be able to brawl with the witness that well, unless they, you know, get to collect evidence with it. But it is collect evidence 6 to get the counter. Plains is great. It also gives me the turning face up ability for this. Okay, some bit of a lag there. Do they have the basic land cycler stomper? Or what's the topiary, the big 6/5? They did have mana up with the mountain and forest there. Okay, now starts the stream of face down cards. Let's have our witness now and start cracking in there. This Smuggler's Copter is such a great card. It's insane. And what to discard? Not the land. It could be one of the consultants. I do like the Phantom here around. So I'm going to discard one of the consultants. Okay. Well, they don't have a shortage of those. Now, am I gonna attack into that because I want to have my 3/2 flyer, but I also want to. Yeah, it's kind of tough. I want to keep the damage. I guess I'm willing to trade here without flipping this. I will have the Phantom here, and I have this in the air too. Because if I drew a plains here, then I can of course use this double white. But yeah, I don't have a 2-drop red card here, so that's the problem. If I turn this face up, I have no castables other than the Felonious Rage. So I'm willing to trade with this, whatever it is. Or they might have their own Felonious Rage, or it could also be a shock. It doesn't actually change what I'm gonna do here. Whatever it is, I'm going to just use the Suspected creature to crew this thing. And then I'm going to attack with the face down card as well. And loot here. I don't know if the case is the card to play in this particular situation. I don't think I need it. I try to win faster than making this thing online. With so many spells in my hand, it's totally unnecessary. Okay, we will sadly trade here. Maybe they have a rage now. So they lost a branch of Vitigasia, and I lost a witness, which is much better. But then again, I do have a lot of... And they had a shock there. I have a lot of spells to cast here still, so I'm not too concerned. And I have the Smuggler's Copter up as well. Okay, they have the Technician there. And the Disguise Creature, am I guessing? They have a lot of 3-drops there. Okay, so starting with the Phantom, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there are a couple of Phantoms, but we'll do with this one. And then I can crew this and attack for 5, unless they're willing to trade with that thing. And I can get rid of the mountain now, I think. And do I want to actually use the Rage now? I think I would have used the Rage now, because I could have still played the Consultant. Because then I can kill both of those things and I get a 2-2 back. So let's do that. This seems like it makes sense. And they missed out on a Crowd Control Warden. And I have my basically 3-3 now here. I wonder if I'm supposed to block with my 2-2 if they attack. I'm tempted to do so because I still have 3 blockers. I can play the Phantom either disguised or if I draw a land. Although if I draw a land I want to loot it away, so this will be a 2-2 no matter what. I think they are not attacking with the Technician though, it seems a little risky. Also I want to play this as a 2-2 to make this guy fly. That's pretty important as well. They have an Inspector. I really didn't want to see that. That's disgusting. Well, it's not that disgusting. It's a normal common. But in this situation, it is actually the card that really makes it great for them. I don't even want to... Well, I mean, I can always loot, of course. But I lost my... There's not really attacking here much. Because this can also block the 2-2. Well, I'm gonna want to have the Phantom regardless. So I'm gonna do it now. And I'm going to attack here. Boom. With this. I'm not gonna block with the Phantom, so let's do this. And I'm gonna do this just to loot. Because they can sadly block. I wish I had my Felonier's Rage right now. But they're at 13, there's no reason to... you know, sacrifice my guys attacking into that board. They would eat the 2-2. They would trade with the Consultant and maybe take like 2 here or something. I'm gonna use this as a disguise creature. I'm not playing it as just a 3-1. It's really actually bad against the 2-4. Yeah, that was the good one. But of course I can have multiple things to deal with it. But now I'm really regretting discarding the case here because I actually need it now. It's gonna be a stalled out board. I was thinking that I can, you know, do good job with the Smuggler's Copter here, but they have the Reach guy. This is the sole reason they are alive, because I would have dealt, you know, 5 damage on the previous turn, for instance. But there is a Galvanize, so I can actually get rid of it now. I can actually, this says, you know, if you have drawn 2 or more cards this turn, this deals 5 damage to that creature instead. So, I'm back on track. I'm gonna do this. And I will not just discard whatever I'm gonna, draw here, of course. I just hope it's not anything too amazing. I'm gonna still do this. I'm not gonna block with this guy. And I'm not going to attack with it either, because it's a 4-3 flyer. So now what I can do is I can attack with everything. Okay, that was a very, very safe discard, and that's great now. Alright. I didn't have that many answers, but I'm happy I drew the one I had. I mean, I had like pump effects and such still there, but now they are in pretty much trouble. I guess one of these could be the 6-7 reach guy, but I have now a white board and also the dog walker here. They're taking what, 7? They didn't want to trade either of these guys into my 2-2 here. But they are back, down to 6. This equipment is gonna barely matter because it doesn't even affect their toughness. They played this as a land, not as a... okay, they had a Vengeful Creeper. So they needed the 6th mana. But now they don't have a reach guy on this Phantom, because I can still, of course... I can make the Phantom fly with the dogs here, but of course I can only do one of these things. I'll rather... Wait a minute, this is a victory, isn't it? Yes. They're gonna go... yeah, this is just a victory. Alright. Let's not do too complicated things when this is simple math. Tapped out opponent, taking 4 in the air, and then they have to take 2 from the rest of the ground guys. That's all I need to deal 6 damage. Alright. Right, well that was a 3-0, but I guess the deck was quite good. The best color combination is, I think, the red-white. If you get open... if red-white is open for you, you don't need anything else than commons and uncommons, because this deck had... okay, it had a very good rare in the Smuggler's Copter, which was relevant in a couple of games at least. The case didn't do anything to me, and the rest of these guys are mostly commons. Mostly commons indeed. So, yeah, because they are just so good quality commons. Even the Person of Interest, a really good card. The Inside Source, a really nice one. And the Dog Walker, of course. Nice 4 copies there. The Consultant becomes a 3-3 attacker very easily in this kind of a deck. The Phantom is really good evasion. So, yeah. If you really want to force a color combination in this draft event, you maybe should try to always see if red-white is open, or maybe blue-white. But I personally don't like forcing. But I did pick the very early Dog Walker now, because on my channel the videos haven't been featuring this archetype. I did one unrecorded draft of a red-white deck, which also went 3-0, but it also had a bomb rare, the Glorious Anthem, red-white golden enchantment that pumps your team and makes your opponent take damage when you play creatures. But it was a crazy good deck, but I didn't record that draft. But now I got to record one of these, and I didn't even need any rares other than the Copter to really do well here. Anyway, let's go and get the price here, and I will see you in the next event then. I guess I got a draft token from the Mastery Pass. Yep. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.